what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video, and today's video is going to be about my first interview for a front-end developer position. So, some of you have been asking me, Telmo, how was your first interview? How was it? What happened in there? So, in this video I'm going to tell you all the story, and yeah, so basically it started like this. I was doing the front-end nano degree from Udacity, and I saw some blog posts of people in there that they started to build an online portfolio and updating their CVs on these job boards. And they are starting to get a lot of calls from recruiters and companies and stuff, so I decided to do the same. Even though I thought I'm not prepared yet, but like I mentioned in some of my other videos, I was more than ready. So I gained a bit of confidence and I was like, come on, Telmo, you have to do this. Today let's build an online portfolio. Let's build this and let's update your CV on these job boards, and let's see what happened, because you don't have nothing to lose. You don't have a job yet, so come on, let's go for this. This is what I thought, and I was like, I have to do this. And so I built my online portfolio. It took me a week or so. I updated my CV. After this, let's say, after I completed my online portfolio and I updated my CV in this job board, after a day or two, I started to get bombarded by a lot of calls from companies and emails, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, I didn't know that this was possible. I was not even applying for jobs, guys. And because, as you can see, web developers are in such a demand right now that you don't even have to apply for jobs. They come to you all the time. So let's get back to track and talk about my first interview. So these guys, they called me. They said, hey Telmo, we saw your CV online, and we were looking through your web portfolio, your website, and we saw that you have some cool projects in there. They were talking about my website optimization, the project that I have there from Udacity Nano Degree. They were saying, oh, we saw some cool projects in there, and we think that you would be a good fit for our company. So would you like to come for an interview and something? Would you be interested in? You know, saying this, first they started with calls for voicemail and then emails. Many companies, so one of them was this one. And I agreed, you know, I went there, and this is quite cool, because what I'm sharing with you guys, I was looking through all the YouTube, like how is a regular interview, and I couldn't find, so just pay attention now. So I went there to the company, and some people, they say, oh my god, if you are going to interview, you need to dress, you need to put a suit or anything. I think that's too much, you know. If you are going, like, if you are a lawyer, if you are going for an interview, or you are working in a bank or something that you need all this kind of dress code, I agree. But if you are going for a developer position, these are kind of more relaxed people. Of course, you shouldn't go to an interview like with a hoodie and stuff, but you should dress like smart, casual, you know, maybe a shirt, some jeans, you know, something like smart casual, not just like a hoodie and stuff like you are going but you know what I mean. But you don't need a suit as well and a tie or So I went there, and I sit down with two guys from the team, and yeah, so I just introduced myself and shaking some hands, and they started to ask me some questions like, hey Telmo, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? And when they when in an interview, guys, when in an interview they are asking, please can you tell us a little bit about yourself or something, they don't want to know if you have two brothers or two sisters, or if you know, if you have a dog, or what they want to know is how did you got into this web development, what you do in your spare time, like what kind of projects do you build and stuff. You know, this is the kind of things that they want to know. They don't want to know if you have three brothers and two sisters and a dog and a cat. They don't want to know these kind of things. So yeah, just tell them how did you got into web development, why do you like it, and what kind of projects do you work on, these kind of things. So they would ask me, tell us a little bit about yourself and something. And then they eventually will ask, do you know anything about, what do you know about our company? So this is important, guys. If you're going for an interview, you should research about the company, check their values, and go to their website and see like what kind of company they are, what kind of people do they hire, and what kind of market do they work in. So do a bit of research and get a bit of knowledge about them, because they will ask you this question like, what do you know about us? Because if you are just going there to the interview and you didn't research anything about them, they would be like, this guy is just coming here and he doesn't even know anything about us, he is not even interested to go and research, so it's a negative point for you. So just take this in consideration, just do a bit of research and you know, do your homework, like they say. So after this they will say what you know about us and stuff. Eventually after this they will talk themselves about what kind of company they are. They will tell you what markets do they operate, how the company is structured and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of a ongoing conversation between you and them. And they might ask you as well, like, do you have any questions for us and stuff. Always have some questions for them, because it shows that you are interested in them. You can ask them, okay, what kind of projects do you guys work on, or how big is your team? Some kind of questions like these that show that you are interested. Don't ask them like, how many days of holidays do I have, or whatever, because this will come in your contract. You can see everything. So don't ask, or what's the time that we have for lunch. I've seen some friends of mine asking these kind of questions in interviews, like, how many days of holidays do I have, or don't ask this. Just ask like these kind of questions, like I said, how big is the team, or what kind of projects do you work on, what kind of technologies do you have, do you use React, do you use PHP, C#, these kind of questions. So eventually the guys, they will ask you as well about your knowledge. It can be like an informal conversation, just to see like what do you know, what you don't know. For example, if you know about JavaScript, objects, classes and inheritance, just to see if you know or not. Can be, for example, in my interview, it was very informal. They were saying like, what do you know? They were not like kind of testing me in this stage. So the interview was like this. It went. They were asking me to introduce myself, talk a bit about myself, what I knew about the company, if I had any questions about them that I would like to know. And yeah, so after they told me all of these and they told me about the company, they make like a bit of a test for myself, a live test. So they would have a computer there, and they were asking me to program in front of them. It was some things that they were like very easy. For example, they asked me to. There was an ordered list, you know, like you have an ordered list with some LIs, and they were saying, can you please put these an ordered list displaying horizontal, because by default the unordered lists are like this vertical, and they say, can you please display this unordered list like horizontal? So of course I just went there with CSS and I put them display inline block, because usually the unordered lists, the LIs inside, they are display block, so they take the full width of the page, and I put them display inline block so they could stack all together, just like a navigation bar. So this was one of the things. Then they were asking me, for example, if I could target the third or the fourth element of this navigation, just the third or the fourth, and for example put the background to blue. Not all of them, but just the fourth one, if I could target it with CSS. This was another question. Then they were asking me if I could set up, for example, a click event in a button and say hello world to the console. So I would have to create a button, and then when we click on the button, it would send a message to the console saying hello world. So this is with JavaScript. It was easy for me as well. So yeah, it was basically just like this, some kind of small tasks that they were just to make sure that, you know, because they are not gonna hire me if they don't know if I know how to work. I could just tell them I'm the best coder in the world, and then they hire me and I don't know anything. So one of the things that, just for you guys to know, I remember that when I was doing, for example, this click event, I didn't know exactly from my mind how to program it, but they told me like this: Telmo, just relax, and if you don't know anything, just go to Google, because while we are working, we are going to Google all the time to check things if we don't know or if we don't remember. So if you need to go, just go to Google, Stack Overflow, whatever, and check these. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't remember exactly because I was just starting out how to do the click button to show this hello world in the console. And I researched and I was a bit like, oh, I couldn't do it, and then bam, I did it. And I was very happy, of course, that they were all of them. Of course, I don't remember now exactly everything that they asked me. They asked me a bit more things, but overall they were a bit like impressed with my knowledge, because they were saying there were other candidates coming in that they didn't answer all the questions. And yeah, they were also asking me some small questions about CSS, if I know how the floats work, the CSS floats, how the box model works, you know, some kind of things like this. And as well about my project about the website optimization that they were using in their company, or they were optimizing websites. They told me, oh, you have this project, can you talk me a little bit about your projects and what. This is something that I'm forgetting about. They asked me if I could talk about the projects that I have on my online portfolio. So this is very important, guys. If you have some projects online, just make sure you go through them, and because they are gonna ask you questions about them. Why did you choose these on your project, and why you didn't do this way or that way? Yeah, so before you go into the interview, just go through your project that maybe you have done 4 months ago or whatever, and you don't remember quite well. Just go through them, through your code, and check them, because they will ask you questions, you know. How did you do this? Why did you do this? Why you did choose this for loop instead of a switch? You know, kind of questions. Or what could you do now to optimize your website? These kind of questions they will see, because in the end, guys, you have to take this in mind. When a company is hiring you, is not hiring you just because you know how to code, to program, to build a website, because this is like a very basic thing. I know how to build a website, okay, this is easy. They will hire you for your solving skills, to solve problems, you know. They want you to solve problems, because most of the times you will have to work with the code of someone else, of other teams or other whatever, and you have to go to that code, try to interpret the code, make sure you understand it and make it work, because sometimes it's not working. So this is why they are hiring you, because you are solving problems, not building a website that everybody knows. Because even if sometimes if you are building a website, it can show up some problems, some bugs or whatever, and you have to solve them. And if you are there and you don't know how to solve them, you are just like looking at the side. So of course sometimes there will be things that we don't know how to solve, and that's why we have a team. We can talk, you know, and share ideas and whatever. And yeah, so I think that's mainly it, guys. How was my first interview. After the interview, I was quite happy. I think it went well, and yeah, they said they said that after the interview, okay, we will contact you after 2 or 3 days. But after this, they called me even in the same day, like, we want you to come here, and get that. They were even sending me the contract and stuff. So yeah, but basically in the end, they offered me the position and everything, but in the end I didn't accept the proposition, even though this is crazy. I was getting this job, my first interview and everything, but I didn't accept because I didn't like the company. It was a small company, and I just didn't feel that it was the right fit for me. And yeah, guys, just remember something. Even though they are offering you a position in something, don't just take the first thing that comes at you, because you're gonna be working there. You're gonna be spending there 8-10 hours a day. Yeah, so you have to think well about just accepting straight away, because you are putting yourself, wow. For example, my previous job before getting into the web development, I was doing sandwiches. It was horrible. It was horrible, that job, you know, and I was like, fuck, now the next job that I'm going into, I need to check well what kind of people are working there, and what kind of environment does the company have. So because you need to feel happy where you are working with, and you don't want people like to be like with a whip, like whoosh, come on, work, or you know, it has to be a relaxed and fun environment. Of course you have to work, don't be just like lazy. But yeah, so I didn't accept this interview. That it went quite well, but I got my first job in the second interview because I like the company the most. But yeah, guys, so this was how was my first interview, and yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We are almost 350 subscribers, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want some videos about some specific topic, let me know in the comments down below. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video, guys.